Have you ever thought about your life not as just this straight line from A to B, but more like a landscape? One filled with valleys and, more importantly, mountains to climb. Well, today, we're diving into this really powerful idea that does just that. It's called the several commanding heights of life. So, this phrase comes from an author named Zhui Feng, the several commanding heights of life. It sounds deep, doesn't it? It kind of suggests our whole journey through life is marked by these specific high points, these moments that totally define our experience and give us a brand new perspective. But okay, what does that actually mean? Commanding heights sounds like something you'd hear in a military briefing, right? So how on earth does that apply to things like our jobs, our relationships, or even just figuring ourselves out? That is exactly what we are going to unpack today.
So to really get it, we've got to start with the core metaphor itself. What exactly is a commanding height?
Well, in the most literal sense, a commanding height is a real place. It's that hilltop, that mountain peak, that spot that gives you a crystal clear, unobstructed view of everything for miles around. From up there, you get a huge strategic advantage. You can see the path you've already taken, and you can map out where you want to go next. It's a position of real clarity and, honestly, power.
And this is where it gets really cool. How do we take this idea and apply it to our own lives? Well, we shift from the literal, that physical place, to the metaphorical. For us, a commanding height becomes one of those aha moments of just total clarity. Or maybe it's a huge achievement you've been working towards for ages, or even a major life transition. Basically, it's any point in your life that fundamentally changes your perspective on everything.
Okay, so if life is this big, sprawling landscape, what are some of the peaks we're actually trying to climb? Let's explore some of these potential heights that we all might face on our own journeys.
Think about your work life. A commanding height, there could be that moment you finally master a really tough skill. Or it could be the day you successfully launch your own business. Or maybe it's hitting a career milestone you've been dreaming about for years. It could even be that quiet feeling you get when you realize the work you're doing is actually making a difference. These are absolute summits of accomplishment.
But it's not all about work, right? These peaks are just as vital in our personal lives. Building a genuine, lifelong partnership with someone, that's a huge one. The incredible, wild journey of raising a family. Forging those deep, ride-or-die friendships. Or, and this is a tough one, the difficult but so rewarding climb of healing a broken relationship. These moments give you this panoramic view of what love and connection really mean.
And then you have the internal climbs, the journeys we take inside ourselves. And while these can be the steepest, like finally overcoming a fear that has held you back your whole life, or reaching a place of true, no-asterisk self-acceptance. Maybe it's experiencing a spiritual insight that just flips a switch in your brain. Or maybe it's the highest peak of all, truly finding your purpose. The views from these internal heights, they're often the most breathtaking of all.
Now, this brings up a really important point. Is it all just about getting to the top? Is the summit the only thing that matters? Or is there something more going on here? Because the real insight, the real secret, is that the value is in the climb itself. And this is where we see this huge shift in mindset. It is so easy to get laser-focused on the goal, right? The summit, the end result, the destination. But the real transformation, the stuff that actually changes you, that happens when you learn to value the process, the climb itself, all the lessons you pick up along the way, and the strength you build with every single step.
So here's the bottom line. The view from the top is awesome, no doubt, but it's temporary. The real reward, the thing that lasts, is the person you become because you dared to make that climb. The resilience, the wisdom, the character you build, that's the treasure you get to keep forever.
All right, let's bring this whole metaphor home. It's time to turn that map inward and do a little personal reflection. Let's talk about your heights.
So just take a second, think about it. What commanding heights have you already stood on? What were those big moments of success or clarity that give you a totally new perspective on your life? You should acknowledge them. You earned that view.
Okay, now let's bring it to the present. What peak are you climbing at this very moment? What's the big challenge that's right in front of you? Thinking about your current struggle as a climb toward a new commanding height, it can give it so much more meaning and purpose.
And finally, let's look ahead. Gaze out toward the horizon. What's the next summit you want to see? Because recognizing these commanding heights isn't just about celebrating the past. It's about charting a course for your future. It's about consciously choosing your next climb and getting excited for the journey. Knowing that the person you become on the way up,
That's the real prize.